Alright, folks, gather around because your two favorite scammers, Logan Paul and Dillon Danis, have a fight coming up. I'm not sure why we care, but it's entertaining enough for me to cover it. So here we are. Now we know Dillon has been digging up all Logan Paul's wife's past, and judging by the amount of men she's dated, I'm pretty sure in the past I was on the line to hit that too. Or maybe it was Disney World. I don't know. Both lines was long as hell. So since Logan is already getting drugged out on the internet for marrying a woman by the name of community service, because you know, she services the community. Let's talk about Dillon first, who called out Logan for being a scammer, even though Dillon is a scammer. So why do we consider him a scammer? Well, it's simple. Dillon is a scammer because he will promote anything you pay him to promote. From shitcoins to NFTs, you give him money, he'll promote it. And CryptoZoo exposed that.
What Dillon doesn't tell you is he also has a history of scamming people on Twitter. And what Dillon didn't know is that there was a detective watching him. That detective was not me, actually. I wish it was me. It was my buddy Zach XBT on Twitter who said, damn, Dillon Danis is a scumbag. Feel bad for everyone he scammed. And then Zach showed some tweets of Dillon promoting obvious scams, which then rug pulled. Now, I was going to kind of leave it there, a little nice Twitter dunk, but it got me thinking.
And when CryptoZoo gets to thinking, it's safe to say you're in trouble. So what did CryptoZoo do? Well, he had his friend make a fake NFT for Dillon to promote, and surprise, Dillon agreed. Without even knowing what it was he was promoting, he named his price and was willing to promote whatever it was CryptoZoo's friend wanted. So, they made an NFT exactly like CryptoZoo, the scam Logan Paul promoted. I mean, it was literally the same idea, written word for word. They just changed the name, which I bet Dillon never even read in the first place. So Dillon accepted the offer.
It's the one thing he actually pushed back on, because I told him I wanted to pay him $1,000, and he said, that's pretty low for me. So we negotiated and landed on a payment rate of $5,000 for a 24-hour post about our NFT project, which does not exist. After we settled on that, he sent me payment information.
Offering $5K to a scammer to make a video is crazy, but it's safe to say CryptoZoo, who got about 4 million views on this video, made his money back, since he could have made anywhere from 28 to 80,000 on a 4 million viewed video. And the way he presented paying him $5K was they gave him $1,000 up front. Then, as he kept the tweet up throughout the 24-hour period, they would pay him more. To cover all the legal aspects so Dillon couldn't sue CryptoZoo, they sent Dillon a contract saying everything they were gonna do. The whole plan, how they were gonna switch the website from the NFT to the website exposing Dillon, and all the scams Dillon was involved in. And Dillon obviously didn't read it, he just agreed to it.
At this point, the whole thing is set up, and it's all just resting on whether he does any due diligence or not. Let's see what happens. Tell us where we're at with Dillon.
So he seems to have taken the bait. There's one final step. Obviously, we have to get him to make the tweet. You just sent $10 to him, right? Just to
I wanted to bait him so that we can send the contract, and he's gonna be like waiting for the money. What now? I mean, is he responding?
He said, sounds good. And then shortly after, he said, got it, to saying that he got the $10 we sent as a test for his transaction.
Now comes the actual moment of truth. We're about to send the contract.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
Sending it. All right. And then I'm sending the drive link.
I mean, we've sent the contract now. We're just waiting. We're literally waiting.
Dillon. Oh, I agree, bro. I agree. What a idiot.
What a dumbass. And once again, kids, this teaches you a valuable lesson about reading contracts. Someone could have made a contract telling Dillon for the next 10 years, we will be taking 90% of the money you make, and he agreed to it. So yeah, Dillon promoted a complete scam. And as dumb as Dillon is, Logan Paul took the cake of scammers because he actually convinced a lot of people to buy into this game that makes you money.
CryptoZoo.co. I am so excited about this project. It's so fun. It's a really fun game that makes you money.
Nigga, please. A fun game that makes you money? Yep, sounds like a scam to me.
A fun game that earns you money. How much did you guys make from CryptoZoo?
I lost around $50,000 in CryptoZoo.
I lost $40,000.
And I lost around 15,000 US dollars.
I lost $25,000.
$120,000.
$500,000 Australian, which is $500,000 in CryptoZoo.
Shut up! No, you haven't.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. And in the interest of not stealing all of Coffee's video, I'm gonna briefly summarize it. And if you wanna know the details, I'll leave his link in the description below. Logan was working on this NFT project called CryptoZoo. I'll let Coffee explain how it should have worked.
You started by buying this crypto token called Zoo, which is their in-game currency, and you use Zoo coins to then buy egg NFTs, which you can then hatch to become animals. You then can breed those two animals to become hybrid animals. For example, if you breed a gorilla and a kitten, you get a Gore Kitty. And the more rare the NFT, the higher the daily yield of Zoo tokens that animal earns you every day. Theoretically, it works like almost like passive income. You can then burn your animal NFTs to release the Zoo they earned back to you, and from there you can invest it into eggs or just cash out. Now, some of you of the Egyptian persuasion might notice some triangular qualities to this game description.
Coffee's right, it kinda looks like a pyramid scheme. But to me, it just sounds like a 2022 version of Pokemon. And if they did this correctly, maybe you could have got paid to play. I used to play Pokemon, so imagine you finding a rare Pokemon or raising a Charmeleon from an egg up to a Charizard with 100 HP. If I remembered correctly, that took me months to do when I was a kid. So if I sold Charizard at 100 HP, it should be worth a couple thousand because it took a lot for me to do that. So I could see why people would believe and invest in a project being advertised by a wealthy influencer like Logan Paul. And apparently he hired people to produce the CryptoZoo game, and they scammed him.
Where our lead developer took the code that he made, fled to Switzerland, actually fled to Switzerland, and like held it hostage for $1 million. Like behind the scenes drama that took a stick and stuck it in the spokes of my wheels.
How does it make you feel when people are doing these takedown videos about your NFT projects previously?
It's sad because of what I just said. There's so much going on behind the scenes. Like, Doug, I'm not the bad guy here.
Yeah.
There's some actual out there.
Yeah.
And it's not me. Like, I'm here to build.
And even if it wasn't his fault, it's still his fault because he was the face of the project. So without him, people wouldn't have invested. And then Coffee found the guy who had a different story.
Oh, well, that wasn't expected. There's a shady developer who held up Logan's code hostage in Switzerland. That's why this hasn't worked the whole time. He held it hostage for $1 million. Well, let's add that to the board. I mean, isn't the mystery solved? Now, obviously, the first thing I wanted to do was hunt down this developer, who we'll be calling Z here, and find out the truth of what happened. Why did he steal Logan's code for $1 million? However, I finally got a hold of him, and when I did, he admitted he took the code hostage, but he says the reason for it was nothing like what Logan had said.
He literally never paid me anything at all, ever. I never was paid. And, we got to a point when I was working on it where I just realized they were just going to try to steal all of my work and not pay me. And so I took all the source code private, and I just kind of, we spent like a month just trying to negotiate and get something figured out where I would finally get paid. Because, on my end, I have a team of 30 engineers. So I'm earning $50,000 a week on building this thing. And the only thing they brought to the table were a bunch of Photoshop JPEGs.
So there are two sides to the story, not to mention a third guy named Eddie that might have scammed them too. This whole story is a mess, but to keep a long story short, Logan said he felt bad about the millions of dollars his fans got scammed, and he said he would give $1.8 million back because this was some people's life savings. But for Logan, who makes a couple million easily a year, him giving back this money would have made him a little less richer, but it wouldn't have changed his life. Until this day, we're still wondering if Logan will ever give this money back. Meanwhile, he's continued to make money, and he bet Dylan $1 million that he'd beat him in this fight. Meanwhile, he still hasn't paid his fans back. So yeah, that's a summary of why we call both of these knuckleheads scammers. But anyways, that's all I got for y'all. Hit the like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'm out.